Jolt! Hey kids, welcome to JoltTV. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Welcome to JoltTV! I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Hello! We're gonna talk about Jesus because he's awesome! I'm gonna go punch Trav. Alright, now that's taken care of. Let's go talk about Jesus. Alright, so this story we're talking about today is a story where Jesus and his followers, his disciples, are traveling from town to town, teaching and doing miracles and doing all this stuff. And they get to this city and they go out to this well because in order to drink water back then, they had to go to wells and like put the bucket down and turn the thing and you come in. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying. I'm glad we don't do that anymore. And while Jesus is going there to get a drink, there's this Samaritan woman that's also getting her water for the day. Now, we don't really have a concept of this because we don't get water this way. But back then, for a woman to be going to get water in the middle of the day, let's just say it meant she had a bad past. She had a history, she'd made some mistakes, maybe was still making some of those choices and lifestyles and maybe even an occupation that made it so that, you know, she didn't really want to be around a lot of people because they're going to be mean to her and bully her and just not want to be around her. And she's a Samaritan woman, and Jesus was a Jewish man, and so that meant they were like not allowed to talk. Like, think crazy rivalry, Duke, North Carolina, Michigan, Ohio State. Like, they don't like, they even have like rules that they were not allowed to talk to each other. So here's this story, here's this scene, try and picture it, use your imaginations, right? And Jesus has 100 reasons not to talk to this woman. And he goes up to her and asks her for a drink. And then he explains more about how, like, you know, we need, you know, food and water to live, but really we need Jesus and God to live our best life. And he goes into this whole thing, and she ends up believing in Jesus and kind of converting and following him, which is awesome. There's a lot of things we can learn from this story, but one thing I want to focus on today is what our big idea is. Our past doesn't change God's love for us. The Samaritan woman, she had a past that most people think, like, that means God's not gonna love her. That means we shouldn't love her. We should, like, outcast her and, like, be gone. But instead of doing that, Jesus says, no, come here. Don't be gone, come here. And Jesus shows her love, just by talking to her. And then shows her love by explaining the gospel and who he is and that she can have forgiveness for her sins. All of those things, Jesus shows her love. For you, this means that no matter what your past is, because, you know, here's what I know. We all make mistakes. You do, I do, we all make mistakes. That's not going to change how much God loves you. God loves you the maximum amount, no matter what. You can't do anything to make him love you more. You can't do anything to make him love you less. He loves you the most amount possible at all times. And that's so cool. Our past will in no way change how much God loves us. Any mistake you make will not change how much God loves you. Now, does this mean go make extra mistakes? No! Like, I probably should have went and punched Trav, but, you know, things happen. I'm just kidding. That was bad. Also, I didn't actually go punch Trav. That was just a video trick. Stop laughing, Trav. All right, we're off the rails here. Big idea today. Our past doesn't change God's love for us. God loves you no matter what. Lean into that. And also, that should help us remember that there's a lot of people out there around us that feel like an outcast, that people are pushing away. And maybe God is saying, instead of pushing them away, we should be bringing them in. Think about that. Go talk about it. I don't know. Let's end this. All right, bye kids. We're out. Our past will